have your feet a shoulder width apart, just comfortable width, yeah? Would you stick your bum backwards, really push it backwards, okay? Duck bum, stick it out here, yeah? I'm not sure duck bum's a proved expression, but anyway, you get what I mean. Okay, so I want you to put your hands on your hips. Don't put them on your waist, put them on your hips, the hip bones, yeah? And I want you to leave your bum stuck out. I want you to turn your shoulders from the waist to the right and back and to the left and back. Okay, make sure you get your bum stuck out, right? So if you have, you will hardly get any turn at all. Virtually none. Okay, now relax your legs, relax your bum, you know, dangle bum, same old thing. Hands still on your hips. Make sure this stays relaxed here at the back, okay? We're not bending knees, we got them straight, and you turn your shoulders to the right. And you turn them back, and you turn them to the left. And back. Okay, so you got a bit more turn in theory. Hopefully you did. So now what we do is, you're going to sit down and bend your knees very slightly, but you don't think of bending the knees. What you do is you think of tucking your bottom under so that this bit of your back here actually pushes outwards. So put a fist on your back, just so your knuckles are on the lumbars here. And would you just pull your tummy in and let your bottom tuck under and let your knees bend slightly? So this has pushed out slightly. Stand up again. You can feel it go back in. Push it out again, sit down. Let it go back in, stand up. And now push it out again. Okay, right, and stand up. Right, let me just turn to face you. Well, you don't need your hand there. So what you're going to do is you're going to push your spine out a little bit on the lower part and sit down a tiny bit. Okay, stay there. Now, without your hips turning, you can have your hands on the hips if you like, or you can just leave them, but they mustn't move. Turn to your right. Turn back. Turn to your left. Turn back. Okay, so now go lower. Zip up at the front here, pull the pubic bone up higher, lift the pubic bone up, the front of your pelvis, pull it up and sit down lower. Excuse me. Turn to your right now. And back. Hips aren't moving, but you're turning from the waist and back. Good. Okay. So the more you sit down, the further round you will get. And the reason is, as we've discussed before, that when you tuck your bottom under and you allow this bit of your spine here to push outwards, when you allow that to push outwards, the spine, the vertebrae, which are piled up one on top of the other, they get more movement. When you're standing up, and especially when you stick your bum backwards, they are jammed together. You're literally jamming them together and they can't move. You've got two things called the spinous processes which attach. And when you do this and stick your bum backwards, it locks them together. When you tuck your bum under, it frees them. So then they get a potential for movement around. So this is what we want. In fact, well, one movement, one actually helps turn the next one and so on and so forth. But you get the idea. So when we do cloud hands, which is form 5, which is where we're going to go from, you need to be sitting down with your bottom really well tucked under so that you can do this action without the hips or the knees doing any collapsing like this. You need to be able to work from the pelvis, from the waist, above the pelvis. Yep. Okay, so we're going to look at cloud hands. Now then, would you first of all pelvic tilt and just bend your knees and sit down. Make sure this is all nice and relaxed at your spine here. It'll feel like it's stretched out a little bit, which is good. It's stretched is not a good word. It's actually what you want is it to release out. Yeah. And would you put your left hand here? Okay, I'm in mirror. Would you now just turn your shoulders without the hips moving to that side and let the hand gradually turn palm away and back? So you turn and the hand's turning palm away and back. And you turn and the hand's turning palm away and back. And once more, you turn. Okay. And you're now going to allow the armpit to close until the arm's about parallel to the ground, roughly speaking. Yeah, that's it. Let's try the other hand. So we repeat, turn back, turn back, turn back, and then we close the armpit. So tuck under, sit down, turn, hands turning, and undo. 2, and back. And 3. This time, close the armpit. Yep. Once more. Once per side. Ready? Turn and back. So turn the hand, turn and back. And turn and close the armpit. Yep. Hips haven't moved, still pointing ahead. Yep. Other side. Turn, back. Turn, back. This time close the armpit, turn, close the armpit. Okay, stay there. If you've gone away from there, just come back to there. You need a feeling of this elbow going towards this hip bone on the side. Yeah. So if you put your thumbs on the iliac crest, it's called, it's the bony bit that comes along the top of the pelvis. So let me just get Oscar again. So here's your iliac crest, and you can see it runs. So here's the front of person here. Yeah, this is face looking towards the screen. And here's the iliac. Oscar's a little bit unhappy, but anyway. So this is your iliac crest, and you can feel it's a bony protrusion on either side here. So that's the bit that's not really going to move. Okay. So and that's the bit that the elbow is going to feel like it's actually going towards, but it's never going to get there. Okay, you're never going to close this much. It's too much. So here we go. Pelvic tilt, sit down, knees bend. Okay, so we're going to just go only 1, not 3 repetitions. Ready? 1 and sink. Now just let it go down. Now turn your body this way and lift the fingertips up. So these fingertips, if I just turn round slightly here, they've lifted straight up my center line, not literally touching it. Yeah. Okay. So once again, sit down, pelvic tilt, turn, and look, the elbow is already thinking towards the hip. And now just turn the body back, let the hand drop. Now turn the shoulders this way and let the fingertips lift up the front. And now turn back to the front. Once more. Turning, and my elbow's beginning to alter angle slightly, because now it's going down to the iliac crest on this side, and then it goes to the bottom. My body's now square, yeah? And now it's going up the center line, chest turn right, and I'm back to front. Just swap your hands over. Turn the shoulders, sink. Turn shoulders back. Turn shoulders, lift fingertips. And you're back to where you were. Keep going. Turn, elbow to iliac crest. Bottom. Turn and back.